Getting people back to work, a multi-billion-dollar supplementary budget bill, and Washington's latest proposal to begin talks on modifying the free trade pact with Seoul. Those topics were topping the agenda on Thursday when President Moon Jae-in held his weekly meeting with his top aides at Cheong Wa Dae. Our Moon Connyoung starts us off.
It's the president's first meeting of chief secretaries and aides since his return from a 5-day tour to Germany. Having focused on global diplomacy and international affairs for the past week, President Moon Jae-in recalibrated his focus on pending domestic affairs. First and foremost, jobs.
일자리를 새 정부의 최우선 과제로 놓고 국민들에게 희망을 드리고자 했는데 추경이 아직도 국회에서 잠자고 있는 현재의 상황이 너무나 안타깝습니다.
The South Korean president's remarks come amid a continued disruption in the opposition-led parliament, mainly over opposition parties' objections to Mr. Moon's latest minister nominations.
더 이상은 지체할 시간이 없습니다. 정부와 국회, 여와 야가 손을 잡고 일자리가 없어 고통받는 국민들에게 손을 내밀어야 할 때입니다.
Also discussed during the weekly meeting was Washington's proposal for a special meeting to start negotiations on possible amendments and modifications to the 5-year-old Korea-U.S. Free Trade Agreement. President Moon ordered his aides to prepare for all possible scenarios without any prejudgment. That's according to multiple senior Blue House officials who were in attendance Thursday morning. The South Korean leader also specifically made note of the auto sector, which the U.S. is largely expected to focus on, pointing out that exports of Korea-made cars to the U.S. fell during the 5 years that the Course FTA has been in effect, while Korea's imports of U.S. cars rose over that period. The proposal comes in a little less than 2 weeks since the presidents of South Korea and the U.S. met face-to-face for the first time in Washington, during which President Trump and his team brought up the issue of U.S. perceived trade imbalance. To that, President Moon had said he was open to discussions and that, if deemed necessary, officials from the two countries should together assess the impact of the FTA on each economy.
That stance by the president remains the same as he questioned whether it was truly and solely the free trade agreement that's enlarged the U.S. trade deficit with South Korea. Now, it's a view echoed by many of his chief economic aides that the two sides must first establish whether it's the trade deal that's caused the trade deficit with South Korea or other fundamental economic issues. Moon Connyoung, Arirang News.